Okay, so for this afternoon, our practice, we're going to focus on balancing the Pitta dosha because it's the Pitta time of day right now. We are in the Pitta season here in Portland, and it's due to be 85 degrees, which we consider to be quite warm here in Oregon. So we're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be hot. So that's also Pitta. And then the inflammation that we see in our culture right now is also Pitta. Pitta is inflammation in the personal body, but it's also inflammation in the collective body. So our class is going to focus on balancing the Pitta dosha for all of us. So let me ask you to start with a comfortable seat. I'm going to back away from my computer a little bit so I don't have to put my concussion glasses on. And as you take a seat, rest your hands out over your knees. You're welcome to close your eyes to get started here. And invite your mind to come inward and downward. So we say every dosha is objectively what it is. We aren't judging one dosha or another. So the words dosha, pitta, vata, kapha, they're words that are free from judgment. They're just descriptor words. But pitta is the dosha comprised of fire and water. When you put fire and water together, the fire causes the steam, like a steam engine, or the steam that rises from your teapot. So fire is capable of transforming one thing into another. So wood into heat and light, water into steam, water into something hot enough to cook with. Fire transforms. Fire is also the fire of our digestion, which is one of the processes of transformation. We transform food into usable materials. And for this time of day when we're practicing, we want to prepare our digestion to transform our food, to support our minds for the clarity of our studies, or the clarity of our work, or our parenting, whatever our duties are in the day. So in this way, food is to support the clarity of the mind, the stamina of the body. And Pitta transforms that food on our behalf. Pitta is also capable of transforming our minds. And that is what we've been focusing on this week in our practices as we were quoting Albert Einstein. If we're going to change our world, we have to change our thinking. So Pitta helps us to transform our thoughts towards wisdom. So I'm going to ask you to imagine the flame. Let's make it like a small candle flame in the heart. And I want that candle flame to burn steadily for you as you bring the Ujjayi breath in. This means you can't use the most dragon-like Ujjayi breath you've ever made. You have to use the quality of the breath that will nourish this candle flame without causing it to flicker or go out. I have referred to this kind of Ujjayi breathing in recent weeks as the most subtle sound you can make with your Ujjayi. So it's not completely silent, it's not a roaring whisper, but there is this silky, smooth whispering quality to your inhale and your exhale. Now start lightly counting the pace of your breath so you are aware of the general experience. What is the general pace of your inhale? Don't be too dogmatic about it. What is the general pace of your exhale? And then notice if generally the inhale pace and your exhale pace could be balanced. We call that sama pranayama. Could they be balanced? Inhale to exhale, balanced. While keeping the subtle sound of the breath, where the candle flame is not caused to flicker about wildly. Do that for 2 more breath cycles, please. And join your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant together. Om Bhurva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhurva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhurva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hands, and please open your eyes. So we're going to be using pranayama throughout class, and we're going to start with standing in a wide leg stance. So please come up to standing and take your wide-legged stance for a forward bend. So about the length of one leg. And thank you, Susie, for moving my camera over. Great. So in your wide leg stance, take a stance wide like this. I'll change my camera in just a moment so you'll see more of me during the practice. Then exhale and come down, please, to your Prasarita Padottanasana. Means wide leg forward bend in English. It's the wrong camera, I'm guessing. I'm not sure what's happening, but it needs to be my phone camera. I don't know what's happening there. Just one moment, you guys. I want to spotlight the other one, Susie. Oh, got it. Okay, so in your wide leg forward bend, I'm going to be asking you guys to practice that ujjayi breath that is really simple, like the whispering sound. But on the exhale, I'm going to be asking you to make a sound with the breath. So when you place your hands down, let's do foot, hand, hand, foot, please. And on the inhale, come up to your fingertips, so you're really stretching your spine forward. When you exhale, make a sound and bow towards the legs like this. Now inhale silently, Ujjayi, as you glide your heart forward without flickering the candle flame. Exhale to bow. Smooth inhale, glide forward. Exhale to bow. Same thing twice more. Notice the inhale is Ujjayi, very subtle, candle flame steady. The exhale is a steady sound through the mouth. Last one. Now come to Ujjayi for both your inhale and your exhale. Walk your hands forward so you're in your outstretched Prasarita Padottanasana. And I'm going to ask you to notice if you can balance your inhale with your exhale again, and also to be interested in the possibility that your breath is a little bit longer, maybe smoother. Might not be more quantity per se, though it could be, but it may also be that you're able to do a slower version of inhale and exhale without causing yourself to feel panicked. You should not feel breathless in the practice. One more breath cycle, please. Imagine the candle flame in the heart is not flickering by how you're breathing. It's steady, a steady flame. And then please walk your hands back towards your hips. Rise up to standing. And step your feet heel toe together. So we are coming up to the digestive period of the day where we're going to have our main meal for lunch. And we're going to move through a kind of prayerful sun salutation to give thanks that our bodies are supported by the natural world and by these 5 elements that we are a part of. So step forward on your yoga mat. I would like you to have 2 blocks for your Uttanasana, because I like this deeper bow that we can make when you press into the palms on the blocks. Okay, so when you step forward, place your feet there, hip distance apart. I'm just going to move my hair off on my face. Good. Join your hands at your heart. Now to really think of that Ujjayi is so subtle and you're not making the candle flame flicker wildly about. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, using the Ujjayi breath and a gentle but inevitably firm completion to your exhale. Inhale, glide forward, rise up to your fingertips. Exhale for a deep bow towards the legs. This time, inhale, glide forward through your heart, rise to your fingertips. And then exhale, step your left foot back and stay steady with the pace of your exhale. Inhale, rise up, giving thanks for all 5 elements in your body. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. Exhale, deep bow towards the legs, a bow of gratitude. All 5 elements are in you, and you are a part of the elements. Inhale, glide your heart forward, respecting the candle flame of the heart. Exhale, right toes back. Use the entire exhale. Inhale to glide and rise up. This is a familiar practice for you, so do it with as much gratitude as you can at the moment. And exhale, arms wide. Slowly pace your movements to match the length of your breath so no part is rushed. And then inhale, step backwards to downward facing dog pose. Exhale, come forward to plank pose. Gaze down between your thumbs and your blocks. Inhale, glide back, downward facing dog pose. Keep your breath and the candle flame of the heart very steady. Exhale, glide forward to plank pose. Once more, inhale, glide back to downward facing dog. Now this time as you exhale, glide forward to plank, again keeping the candle flame of the heart steady. Inhale to cat pose. Lower your knees really slowly to the floor. Exhale halfway back to child's pose. Inhale, roll forward cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Okay, inhale to cat. We're going to add the pranayama we were doing last weekend. When you exhale backwards, say the sound hum. Hum. Inhale, cat. Cow pose with lion's breath. Inhale to cat. Backwards. Hum. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow, lion's breath. Inhale to cat. Once more backwards. Inhale, cat. Cow pose. And then inhale to table pose. Smile at your own efforts there. Okay, exhale, plank pose. Energize the low belly. Inhale, reach high, downward facing dog pose. Okay, exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. The smooth Ujjayi exhale, touch the 2 blocks, step backwards to downward dog. Left foot forward. Right knee down. Inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale smoothly, bow forward, touch the two blocks, step backwards, downward dog pose. Right foot forward. Anjaneyasana. And bowing forward, lightly step backwards, downward dog pose, keeping the breath smooth. Left foot forward. Right knee down. Rising up. Exhale to release. This time, step forward. Inhale, bring your heart forward. And exhale for a deep bow towards your legs. Root your heels. Inhale to rise. Ujjayi breath. And exhale, hands to your heart, mountain pose. And imagine where the palms are gathered, that they make kind of the shape of a candle flame. And inside the center of the palms, a quiet space that doesn't touch. Imagine that same quality of quiet, the fire of the candle in your heart, the small flame. Not now Ujjayi breathing, only observing. Now I'm going to ask you to take your chair into your practice. So place your chair on your yoga mat. And I would recommend that your chair is padded. You might need to use a blanket for that. So the blanket that you pad the chair with, I'm going to place it on the front edge of the chair. So you will not miss where the front edge of the chair is, like this. And then take a wide stance, like so. Come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. For those who need blocks to reach the floor with the hands, that is totally fine and also recommended. Based on the height of your chair and your height, if you check that you can turn your head to the side on your chair and it's comfortable, you can do forward, you can do the other side. You want that. If you put the hands all the way down and it makes your head feel funny like this, then you should be using yoga blocks to elevate. And that is based on the height of the chair, your flexibility when you bend forward, and your height. And so starting here with the forehead centered, energize your legs. And now start pacing the Ujjayi breath so it's equal again. And add a little pause at the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. Be super thoughtful about those pauses. So if your inhale, exhale pace might be 10, the pauses could be about 2, just hovering for 2 moments, 2 little seconds. Now I'm going to invite you to lengthen your exhale. So it's 2 or 4 counts longer than your inhale. And you have to determine that for yourself. If just 2 counts longer than your inhale is what you can do consistently, please do that. If you can go 4 counts longer than your inhale, you may do that. If that means you're doubling the length of your breath, then you should speak to me after class. We can have a short Zoom visit about it. Now keeping the breath consistent, turn your head to your right. So you are on your left temple and the left side of your head. Pitta also governs the eyes. So keep the breath consistent as you were just doing. Take one block tall under your right hand. Reach your left hand across to hold the toes of the chair and add a little twist of your upper body to the right. While keeping your Ujjayi breath, inhale, and the exhale is 2 or 4 paces longer consistently. Okay, return to center. And at the end of an exhale, return to center. And notice now again, pacing the breath. Inhale, slight pause, maybe 2 counts. Your exhale is 2 to 4 counts longer than your inhale. Tiny pause at the end, maybe 2 counts. Now we're going to go the other way with the twist. So turn your head to your left, rest on your right temple, place the tall block under your left hand, and reach your right hand across to the toes of the chair. And we're using this to help lean back into the twist. As you're twisting to your left, allow the right hemisphere, the back of the body, to kind of broaden and melt down towards the floor. Your head should feel like it's at a kind angle from the spine, not that you have a crooked neck here with the chair seat being too tall for you. And come into the Ujjayi breath again and gently pace. Please do one more full breath cycle. Take your time in the luxury of simply breathing in and breathing out. Feel into your body from the inside. And know that you're balancing the fire element in your body, and therefore the other elements get to come into better balance as well. With your exhale completed, you can then return to the center position here. And walk your hands up towards your hips, and please rise up to standing. Now we're going to use the chair for a different kind of twist. You're going to be sitting in it. And so when you take a seat in the chair, you want to sit on the front edge of the chair. You may need blocks for your head here. I don't know who's limber enough for the head to be supported by the ground, so I'm going to recommend you use blocks. I think I'm going to do mine like this. And reach down to hold the legs of the chair within. So you reach between the shins like this. And notice again, now you're in a kind of center position. You're not now twisting. So what is the pace of the breath? What are you capable of for the exhale? And is it possible the exhale is 2 to 4 counts longer consistently and easefully? 2 to 4 counts longer than your inhale. Now we're going to take the left hand to hold the toes of the chair on the right side. So you reach across to the best of your ability. Turn your head to your right, place your right hand on your right knee, and enjoy a twist of the upper back. So your right hand can press firmly down against your right knee to help with the twist, but also think of the left shoulder blade widening around the back of the heart and around to the side of your rib cage. Notice what you're able to do with your breath cycle here. Remind yourself that Pitta tends to become more fiery on its own, and it will incline itself to over effort or to competition. So listen for what your breathing can do. You're just wisely chaperoning the breath. You have a leadership role, but you don't want to be coercive over the breath cycle. Rotate back to center. Place both hands on your knees. Press down to rise up. And when you come up, just pause to notice, like what's the state of things. Rest your hands in your lap. You are upright. Watch your body recalibrating. Okay, and then coming forward, we'll do the other side. So when you first come down, reach your right hand under to hold the toes of the chair on the left. Turn your head to your left and place your left hand on your left knee. You're adding a twist in here. And there's two parts of the twist. One is an active part of pressing the left hand down to twist to your left. But the other is that you're broadening the right hemisphere of the torso. So your right shoulder blade moves around towards the sides of your rib cage. And again, take notice what is possible with the breath, also what is not possible with the breath right now, but please don't use any coercion with the breath. You can think of stewarding, chaperoning, collaborating, partnering with the breath. And then as you complete your next exhale, rotate towards center, place both hands on your knees, press down to rise up to sit, and to notice. Release the breath practice, so you're just simply noticing right now. And then you're going to take one block, maybe 2 blocks, depends on your height and the height of your chair. So 1 or 2 to sit on, and you're going to sit in front of your chair. And I would like that the upper back is going to touch the edge of the chair right here where the blanket is. So you lean back, place the upper back, you are back bending. Support your head, please, with your hands. And as you're back bending, let's bring the elbows in towards each other and gently up towards the ceiling. So my interest in this back bend is that it's really that your shoulder blades are resting on the chair seat. And from your floating ribs down into your abdomen, you're relaxing at the solar plexus, relaxing in the inner fire of the belly. And let's see what the breath pace can do here. Try to imagine the inhale and the exhale moving up the front of your spine, and neither one disturbing the candle flame of the heart. And during the exhale, you'll have some tone in the low belly, and that ought to increase up towards your solar plexus. But during the exhale, I don't want you to pull your elbows or your rib cage down towards your knees. Try to keep that spacious. And observing what your breath has been able to do. Now you can walk yourself back up to sitting. I'm going to recommend that you take the block down to something stable, if it's not now stable. And notice what's happening across your upper back. I wish I could just turn you all magically like on a lazy Susan, a yoga lazy Susan, but we don't have that. So please turn around to face your chair. Sit on your block in Baddha konasana. The distance that you're going to be from the chair is based on your flexibility for Baddha konasana. So when you come forward, place your forehead on the front edge of the chair. You can hold the toes of the chair if you like, but you can reach back also and hold the next set of legs on the chair. And again, observe what your breath is capable of doing here with your partnership, with your collaboration, not with your coercion. Please do one more breath cycle there. And then I'd like you to rise up to sitting when you're complete with that breath cycle. And with this one block that you have right now, come down to sit on the floor or the ground. I'm going to ask us to scoot this. I need to scoot this a little bit away so that I'm not going to run into it. Okay, so you can keep this here for a few moments from now. We'll use it briefly before Savasana. I'd like you to watch what I'm going to do with this block though. It's going to go behind me, and I'm going to be asking you to tip backwards on the block. So I want that to be, so that when I lie back, I want my upper back on the block, and then I put the occipital ridge at the block. So please keep watching for a moment. When I put the occipital ridge right there, and then I'm going to tip the block so that my head has a little bit of a back bend in the cervical spine. Because I tip the block up, the head is gently leaning very slightly back. But there is a space between the back edge of the block and the floor right there. So I've got this pressure at the occipital ridge, but it doesn't feel like a big pressure behind the heart. So what you do is when you're lying back on your block, you try to get the occipital ridge over the back side of the block right there. It's a little bit like when you go to the hairdresser and you're like, well, where should I put my head on that sink? And why are all the sinks so uncomfortable? But when you place the occipital ridge, then use your fingers, pick up the back side of the block and come into position, palms face down. Close your eyes And you can imagine a candle flame. Just checking you guys out. Yeah, good. Okay, good job. Imagine the candle flame of the heart so that you can sense a kind of steadiness at that candle flame. If you'd like, you can stretch the legs out straight. And invite the head, which is tipping very slightly backwards, so the throat is gently a little bit open. Invite your head to get a little bit heavier as the occipital ridge right there has a couple of important little pressure points. Invite your eyes to really relax. Allow the shoulders to roll a little bit back towards the floor. They're not going to go far because of this specific position. But as the candle flame is relatively steady and bright in the heart, let the solar plexus and the fire of the belly go downstream. That fire should not be going up to burn the mind. That fire is meant to burn the foods that you'll be having for your lunch. So picture that fire is gentle right now, and its direction will be downward. Allow your eyes to more deeply relax, more deeply relax. For the base of your skull to even more deeply relax, even more deeply. And if you did straighten your legs, you can now gently bend each knee. Tip your block backwards so it goes to the floor with you on it. And then use your hands to support your head. And then hands on the floor to come up. Let's put this block aside. Lie down close enough to your chair to place your feet. So go really close and place the feet into Baddha konasana like this. And you're close enough to the chair that you really have this Baddha konasana, like how a baby might do it. It's also possible that your feet are going to slide a little bit away from each other in the first few moments here. That'll be okay. And imagine the eyes get deeply quiet. The base of the skull where the block was can deeply rest. The candle flame of the heart simply steady. Let the inner belly and the fire there be preparing for food, and the fire burns the food and then sends it down. So the fire should not be raging up towards the heart or the throat or the eyes. So some of you will find that right now, this is a relaxing enough position for your hip joints. And I know that might sound strange to others, but if this is a kind of like, whoa, the hips and pelvis are so quiet, you could stay here for Savasana. If you would like to change for Savasana, you can place your legs up over the chair seat, support your knees, and rest like this. You get to choose. And I'm going to ask you again to quiet the eyes So they are gazing inward and downwards towards the candle flame of the heart. And let the eyes rest there on that candle flame without distraction, without departure. As your eyes rest there, you can imagine that the inner wisdom of your body is taking care right now to bring the elements into balance, to balance your dosha, to balance your mind dosha and your body dosha. And all you're required to do is rest your gaze inwardly at the candle flame of the heart. Let the eyes relax even more deeply. No effort required to see the candle flame of the heart. Allow the eyes to become even more tranquil, even more still, gazing at the small flame of the candle in the heart. Keeping the mind tranquil, the eyes tranquil. If you've had your feet over the chair seat, please glide your feet towards the front of the seat. If you've been in Baddha konasana, you can bring the knees to the chest as well. So everyone like this. And then gently roll to your right side. And use both hands to come up to sit, and I would like you to sit up for a pranayama practice, a special practice for Pitta, a practice you could use if your mind gets heated today, if you're having trouble accommodating the heat of Oregon, if you're in Oregon. So when you take a seat here, we're going to be using the sitali, where the tongue is like a little straw, like this. And for those who don't do that practice, you do sitkari. You know that your tongue doesn't curl because of your genetics. Well, when we do it, please watch once through. Here's the inhale for my sitali. Here's my exhale. Okay, so during the inhale, you're moving the inhale on the straw shape of the tongue up. You're opening the throat. Then you place the tip of the tongue behind the top two teeth. Bring your head down to level. And when the tongue is not cool, when it's the same temperature that it was before the cool air passed on the tongue, then you exhale. Well, let's try it. We'll do it 3 times together. This is the first time for some of you to have this practice. So let's try it for 3 times and we'll sit quietly. Make the curl of the tongue. Inhale. Bring the tongue in. Level your head. When your tongue is not anymore cool, then exhale. Again. Last one. And you relax the breath practice completely and let your eyes rest at the candle flame of the heart. And please join your hands together at your heart. Listen now to the voice tone that you have at the end of your practice. You can sing with me. Om Bhurgava Suvah Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you also to my teachers. So may your Pitta today, may it be used to digest food and to digest experiences, thoughts, emotions. May your fire be available for the transformation that is needed in our society and our civilization. May it not be distracted by poor digestion. May it not be unavailable to the larger causes because inside there are many dilemmas unresolved. Of course, we're all doing our best, and I do understand that. Thank you. I will come up to say hi to you. How are you? I have to put my glasses on to better see you. You're just all very fuzzy right now.